Right now, before you speak up, before the phone rings with news, your stomach flutters, butterflies, and your whole life you've been told that's just nerves, a figure of speech. It isn't. That flutter is a real, physical message traveling up a nerve highway from a second brain that lives inside your gut. 500 million neurons, its own wiring, making its own decisions. And almost nobody has ever been shown the diagram behind a single gut feeling. So let's actually look at it. Start with the thing that sounds made up. Woven through the wall of your gut, your stomach, your intestines, there's a vast network of nerve cells. Scientists call it the enteric nervous system, and it is genuinely enormous. Roughly 500 million neurons embedded in the lining of your digestive tract. To put that number in perspective, that's about 5 times as many neurons as you have in your entire spinal cord. 5 times. So when you hear someone say, the gut has a mind of its own, that's barely an exaggeration, it nearly does. This network can run your digestion almost completely on its own. It senses what you've eaten, it decides how fast to move it along. It fires the muscle waves that squeeze food through you inch by inch, all without ever asking your head for permission. In fact, cut its connection to the brain entirely and your gut keeps right on working. That's why, back in the 1990s, the neuroscientist Michael called it the second brain and wrote a whole book with that title. The name stuck because it earned it. But that raises the obvious question. If you've got one brain up top and 500 million neurons down below, who's actually in charge? You'd assume the head. The brain gives the orders, the gut just follows along. Obvious, right? The truth runs the other way. The main cable linking the two is the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your body, wandering from your brainstem all the way down past your heart and into your gut. And when researchers counted the fibers inside it, they found something that flips the whole picture. Around 80% of them carry signals in just one direction, up, from the gut to the brain. 80%. So this isn't a boss barking commands at a worker, it's mostly the gut doing the talking, reporting, sending a non-stop stream of updates north about stretch, about nutrients, about what's arriving and how it's going, while your brain, for the most part, sits and listens. So what does any of that have to do with butterflies? Watch the loop close. You're about to walk on stage. Your brain registers the threat and fires a signal down that same vagus nerve into your gut. Blood flow shifts away. The muscle waves stutter and change. Digestion gets shoved aside. Your body has decided this is not the moment for lunch. And your gut, all 500 million neurons of it, feels that change happen and reports it straight back up the line. That report, landing in your brain as raw sensation, is the flutter. The sick with dread. The knot in your stomach before bad news. It was never a poet's exaggeration. A gut feeling is your gut, quite literally feeling something, and telling you about it in the only language it has. The signal is real. The highway is real. You've just never been handed the map. And honestly, it gets stranger. Think about serotonin, the molecule everyone calls the happiness chemical, the one your antidepressants are designed to nudge in your brain. So where is most of it actually made? Not your head, your gut. Specialized cells in your gut lining produce somewhere between 90 and 95% of all the serotonin in your entire body. Almost every last drop. Said like that, it sounds like a bombshell. Your good moods brewed in your stomach. But this is exactly where the honest version matters and where most of the internet gets it flat wrong. That gut serotonin cannot cross into your brain. There's a wall, the blood-brain barrier, and serotonin simply doesn't pass through it. So no, your stomach is not secretly manufacturing your happiness. Down in the gut, serotonin does a totally different local job. It helps power those very muscle waves that move your food. Same molecule, 2 completely separate systems. Don't let anyone sell you the shortcut. Which brings us to the real frontier, the part the supplement ads have already sprinted miles past. The trillions of microbes living in your gut also churn out neuroactive chemicals of their own. Serotonin's raw ingredients, and even GABA, a calming signal your brain relies on. And in mice, swap those microbes around and you can measurably change the animal's behavior, its anxiety, its mood, which is genuinely thrilling. But here's the honest line, and it matters. In humans, that cause and effect link is still emerging, still openly debated. The animal results are strong. The human story is being written right this minute. So anyone selling you a mood-boosting probiotic today is running way out ahead of the proof. It's also why stress and the gut are so tangled together. Chronic stress and conditions like IBS tend to travel as a pair, each one feeding the other along this same two-way line. That's an association scientists are still carefully mapping, a mechanism, not a diagnosis, and not something to reach for a pill over. The wiring is real. The conversation between gut and brain is real. Exactly how loud the microbe's voice is in it, that we're still finding out. But the big shift has already happened, and you can't unsee it. Your gut isn't a passive tube that food just falls through. It's a sensing, signaling, half-thinking organ with its own sprawling brain, its own voice, and a private line to your head that runs mostly one way, upward. So the next time your stomach flutters before something that matters, that's not nothing. That's your second brain telling you it noticed first.